Yeah, so we got CYL7 coming tonight, hopefully, probably, allegedly. We're getting Brave Alts 4, Corrin, Robin, Gullveig, and Soren. I'm personally excited to see what they do with Soren. I suspect, and I kind of hope that they just do like his Arc Sage outfit. It's kind of boring, but like, that's just what he wears for like, you know, most, I don't know, but most of the game, like half the game after he promotes. It's like that white robe that he wears.
It's time for the Choose Your Legends edition of Feh Channel.
Oh boy.
All dressed up
I still
in their
can't believe
Choose Your
Gullveig.
Legends outfits. Are you on the edge of
Yeah,
your
just
seat?
saying, Soren got more
Trembling
votes than
with
Gullveig.
anticipation?
Couldn't help
Let's
but
get right
notice.
to the introductions then.
I am certain now that the path I chose was correct.
Hoshida Noble?
Corrin is the second place winner of the women's
She is a
division.
dragon.
Reduce the damage
Yeah,
she
Vala
takes
Noble's
by
pretty cool.
30%.
Also, she's colorless, which means that Gullveig is not colorless. 11 becomes 1.
Feh? The sounds of
What the
Corrin are
fuck?
Very strange.
Oh no.
Those are divine veins. They apply
That's actually
special
really
effects to
cool.
spaces.
They actually implemented
The
frickin'
Firestone skill can apply
Dragon
the
Veins in
Stone
Feh.
Divine Vein,
That's not what I
which
expected.
increases
That's
defense
pretty
and
wild.
resistance for allies during combat.
Does it just
And
activate when
let's
she
not forget her
attacks?
exclusive A skill, Realms United. She can counterattack foes from a distance. Combine
Yeah, huh?
that with her B skill, Counter Roar 4, and she has plenty of options for reducing the damage she takes from first attacks. Classic Corrin, if you ask me.
Yeah, if you... Wait, was that a save skill I just saw? Is she in armor?
Fancy clothing won't disguise
It's Soren!
lack of substance.
Arc Sage Soren.
Soren is the second
Yo, he
place
looks dope.
winner of the men's division.
Key to Senri. Perfect.
He's dressed as an archsage of Tellius, and his outfit billows with the power of wind magic around him.
Water Sweep
Soren's
4.
weapon skill is Archsage Tone,
Show me Water
which
Sweep 4.
strengthens nearby allies and grants an assign decoy effect to them.
Assign Decoy?
Allies with assign decoy
What?
can activate the savior effect against foes with the same attack range.
You can make infantry saves.
Also increases all stats and reduces damage taken, so you can rest easy if there's an ally nearby.
Oh no.
Soren's exclusive.
Hold the phone. He has flair. Holy shit. They actually added it to the game. New tier
Powerful
4
magic,
special just
good
dropped.
Use of teamwork with his allies. I'd expect nothing less from Soren.
Yeah, it's based on enemy res.
The Golden Seal.
Here she is.
My purpose is to bring ruin.
Gullveig is the first place winner of
Yeah, I
the
mean, there she
women's
is.
division. Wait a minute. That outfit is just like Sather's.
Oh, it is like
Wonder how she
Sather's.
feels wearing something that reminds her of the past.
She's a blue
Depending on
tone.
the number of turns passed. The damage she deals
She
is
just
also increased by 20%
slapped
for
him with
speed
7
stat,
damage at start of
so
combat.
she'll be able to dish out consistent damage to her foes. Her
She had
exclusive
another
A skill
Dragon
is
Vein effect.
Gold Unwinding. Her A skill,
Oh, this is new.
Layered Sparrow, increases her
It looks just
attacking
like,
speed when she initiates combat,
Huh.
and can deal 7 damage to her foe once combat begins.
This looks like an
It also
inheritable
applies
skill,
the
but it has
Flame
a...
Divine Vein
vein
to the
effect.
spaces around her foe after attacking.
What the fuck?
The Flame Force on the
Wild
battlefield.
Tail Spam is incoming. Also, it looks like she just grants everybody like plus 7
I've come this
damage.
far thanks to not only my successes, but also my setbacks.
Oh, it's just like Crom?
Robin is the first place winner of the men's division. Not only does the Exalt's tactician have a special outfit, but he's also
It's true.
wielding a sword
That's
given to
not
him
Levin's
by
sword.
Crom. Robin's weapon
Seems like a
skill
missed
is
opportunity.
Deliverer's Brand. If his
The outfit's
HP
cool though,
is
yeah.
25% or higher, Robin's exclusive
Just gonna pause for a second. Compare any of these to Adult Tiki from last year.
If an ally
Oh, Rally
has
Spectrum is
Robin's
actually
weapon
a thing now.
5 spaces, he can move next to them.
Yo.
Rally Spectrum increases all stats and reduces special cooldown count before an attack. Robin sure knows how to nudge
It's
the
not
odds in his favor.
really what Rally
That's
Spectrum
the
used to do,
Exalt's
but okay.
tactician for you.
Wow, that was... Oh, new GHB?
That's all
I don't
for
know.
introductions.
Wow.
The heroes chosen in Choose Your Legends Round 7 will appear in the new hero summoning event.
We have a
Turn of
lot to
Fate,
unpack
beginning
later.
on August 16th.
Yeah, not having Levin Sword and Robin
Top
does seem like a missed
You'll be able to
opportunity.
summon a free focus hero after 40 summons in the
Especially
new
since they
hero
made him a
summoning
sword
event.
anyway. Like, just making him,
And you
like,
can do it again
some
after
other
80,
sword just seems really weird.
120, and 160 summons too.
Yeah, so I'll be
That's
Spark,
up
not
to
sparking.
4 free
Soren will be my
focus
free summon.
heroes. Oh, and of course,
The choice is easy.
say, don't we have a grand hero battle coming up?
Who is this? From Three Houses? It's a bow from Three Houses. Is it the Abyss Keeper?
I'm Cyril.
Oh, okay.
I'm always
Grand Hero Battle
He looks good.
Reyes Attendant begins on August 17th.
Really good character art for Cyril.
Faye, aren't all these heroes wonderful? So many new effects, so many unique and exclusive
Not sure if he has a perf,
skills.
but
I wish I were that cool. Anyway,
maybe we'll be able to tell later.
what's next?
I guess Gerald had a perf and he was the GHB last year.
Oh, right. The number of times you can power up
Hooray!
dragon flowers is increasing starting around August 16th.
10 dragon flowers
Each
for
hero will
Lucia.
be able to use them
More
5
speed.
more times. Since
Yeah,
you'll be
30
able to
dragon flowers
strengthen
on launch
heroes
units.
More times with dragon flowers, there will be 1,000 of each type up for grabs in the next forging bonds. That's a total of 4,000.
I mean, you said give us more
dragon
dragon flowers, you
flowers.
stingy
Sounds like
fucks,
your
and they did
heroes
it.
Could get quite a bit stronger.
So, I mean, that's 1,000. That's 4,000 right there.
Faye, it's almost sunset.
3 of them look good. Okay, I don't want to get into the arts yet, but I will say my first impression of Corrin was, oh. Alright, let's break down the new heroes. It's a lot to go over here. Alright. Second place finisher for the women. Corrin is a colorless dragon. I suspect that she's an armor, because I think I saw her activate a save skill. Artist is CYL, which is a name I don't recognize, but there are plenty of Feh artists' names I don't recognize. But yeah, my first thought looking at this, I don't know, the neutral art is like already growing on me. Like I already think it looks fine, but my first impression was not great. Okay, CYL has done, oh, they did Valentine's Effie, speaking of her. They also did Ascended Hilda and Legendary Myr. So this is Valite Corrin, which I guess makes sense since we never got her before. We've never had a female Corrin as a sword, right? They've all been dragons. Actually, that's not true. They've not all been dragons. There's like a tome in there. 2 tomes. Valistone, exploit special trigger. After unit acts, if Kanto triggers. After Kanto. Oh, okay, yeah. Applies Divine Vein Stone to unit space and spaces within 2 spaces of unit for 1 turn. Start of combat, grants +5 dull stats, neutralize effects, so guarantees follow-up attacks, effects that prevent units follow-up attacks, and reduces damage from attacks by 30% during combat. Okay. Her perf by itself, in a vacuum, is not overwhelming. However, that could change once we look at the Divine Stone, Divine Vein effect. Applies the following effects on space for unit and allies. Grants defense res +6 during combat, reduces damage from foe special by 10 during combat, and reduces damage from air effect specials by 50%. So it's just a lot of defensive effects. Divine Vein effects do not stack, replaces any existing Divine Vein effects. We're just gonna start getting a bunch of Divine Vein effects, are you kidding me? I think Gullveig had an inheritable one. Yeah, when I imagined, like, what kind of power creep we'd be getting, right? Because, like, every once in a while, they'll introduce, like, a new mechanic or a new skill that, like, is actually a pretty big shakeup, like Kanto or save skills. I think Divine Veins is that, basically, this time around, and I really didn't expect this. This is pretty nutty. So it's after unit acts, which tells me that you can activate this with Rally. And yeah, we're at, this is going to be a new BST bin. So Corrin, once she comes out, she's probably going to have the highest BST in the game. I don't know what it is at this point, if it's like 200 or something. Realms United. Unit can counterattack regardless of foe's range. If foe initiates combat or foe's HP greater than 75. Inflicts blah -7 on foe. And reduces damage from foe's first attack by 7 during combat. Is it just me or is that not that crazy? Maybe in practice, the Divine Vein effect is just so strong that it's like, oh. Yeah, she's activating Armored Flowway here, so she's definitely in armor. Yeah, right. Poor Brave Tiki. Brave Tiki. Maybe they should have just made her in armor in the first place. Bridal Tiki is probably still okay. Although this is a new far save Cuddleless Dragon. You can see in the top left, you can see the Vein effect activating. It's interesting. There's a little icon for it. Counter Roar. Inflicts attack speed -4 on foe. So this is inheritable, by the way. I'm guessing it's inheritable to dragons, but we're not sure. Inflicts attack speed -4 on foe. Reduces damage from foe's first attack by 30%. How much damage reduction effects does she have? She subtracts 7, then gets like -30% from her perf weapon, then -30% more from this. And unit's next attack deals damage equal 30% of foe's attack damage prior to reductions. And restores 7 HP to unit after combat. Yeah. The best B-slot skills usually have just some extra healing sprinkled on there. She seems like she'll be pretty good. I think it's going to depend a lot. No. Sorry, I'm just thinking. It's going to depend a lot on like how good the Divine Vein effects are in practice, and I think they'll be really good. Because what's going to happen is she's going to activate her save. She'll come into combat once. Her Vein will activate. Now she's on what is basically a defense tile, right? She like makes her own defense tiles. Can't wait for the next seasonal Corrin to have Dragon Vein effects. I think we could start seeing a lot of Dragon Vein effects. For better or for worse. She has 46 speed, slow, idiot. Snail. What's your BST, I wonder? 205 BST. Hey! Gen 8 is here. That's that Gen 8 BST, right? Or is it Gen 7? I'm not even sure anymore. Yeah, Corrin seems pretty good. She'll be susceptible to dragon effective damage and armor effective damage. I think she would have been much better if she negated one of those two. But as she is, she's pretty good. Soren's here, and that's exciting. I'm glad that Soren is finally getting good treatment. His ults have not been fantastic. I think young Soren might be okay, but I see him so infrequently. He's an infantry green tome, which makes sense for him. Arc Sage Tome, like start special trigger, at start a turn, grants blah +6 and assign decoy to any support partner. Oh, this is a support partner situation, okay. Within 2 spaces of unit. Or if unit is not on a team with unit support partner, to ally with the highest defense within 2 spaces of unit for 1 turn. This is a really good quality of life change because it just means that you can like use him always, and you'll always be granting decoy to somebody. It's not like Summer Ivy or other units where you have to like make sure you deploy them with a support partner. Yeah, like I like the idea of the support partner effects, but in practice they're not like super convenient to use. Let's see here. If unit is within 3 spaces of an ally, grants bonus to unit attack, speed, defense, res during combat, equal 5+ highest bonus on each stat between allies within 3 spaces. So basically he's going to grant himself like +11 to all stats. If unit's res greater than foe's res, reduce damage from attacks during combat up to 40%. Okay. Basically the best effect here is probably going to be the assigned decoy. If foe's range equals unit's range, and foe initiates combat against an ally within 2 spaces of unit, triggers savior on unit. So I think what it's saying is it grants you either near save or far save, depending on whether you're a melee unit or a far save unit. Here's a question. If you are not deploying a support partner, and you have 2 allies within 2 spaces that have the highest defense, right? They're tied. Can you grant them both the save skill? Then you can have a near save and a far save infantry on 1 team. Yeah, man, being able to grant a savior skill to an infantry is pretty cool. So does it strengthen them? I guess it gives them buffs, yeah. Interesting. I can grant Lucia a save skill. What the fuck? I can have near save Lucia. That's so funny. Depending on how bulky Soren is, he could potentially counter Duo Shamir. He basically needs to like enemy phase her. If he can take one hit and then counter and kill her. Depends on what his other skills are. I'm guessing he's gonna be frail, but also we don't know. He has 16 defense. Well, hold on. Hear him out. He's got that 40% damage reduction. And we haven't seen his other skills yet. Oh yeah, we can see his skills here. 47 res. Oof. Oof. 34 speed. Brutal. Yeah, like in his original game, he's not like that fast. So this isn't super surprising. I will say it's dumb that like they arbitrarily give out really high speed to people. Sometimes. And not Soren. Let's see, rare talent. Grants plus 7 to all stats. So he's gonna have like plus 18 to all stats basically. Disables foes' effects that calculate damage using lower a foe's defense or res. I like that. Mystic boost effect. And also, the following effects will occur based on the value of units res minus foes res. If 1 or greater, neutralize effects that inflict special cooldown charge minus X. So anti-guard. If greater than 10, and either foe's range equals 2, or a unit initiates combat, unit attacks twice during combat. So he grants himself like a brave effect. I wonder if you give him speed preempt, would he just like counter with brave hits? I'm pretty sure he would. That's interesting. Although he's not very fast. So speed preempt maybe wouldn't be the best choice for him. And finally, Flare. Can we see what the cooldown is on Flare? Oh, actually, I guess it's 3, because he has acceleration. Yeah, 3 cooldown, okay. If units HP, greater than 70, boost damage, yeah. Flare will be pretty good. I'm curious to see how it does against, like, save armors. And also, like, infantry, godswords, and things that usually survive just with damage reduction. I'm getting the Brave on Cornelia here. That's true, actually. Cornelia has a lot of res. I think he also has a tier 4 NFU skill. He's got, like, the magic NFU. I spotted that earlier. He's pretty nutty. He also has times pulse 4. So he's going to be spamming Flare a lot. I'm glad Soren finally got a really strong ult. So yeah, I think Soren, has my favorite art on the banner. Key to Sendry stays winning. Radiant Confidant. What about him is Radiant, I wonder? Would they be willing to break that down for us? What about Soren is Radiant? Why give him that descriptor? Yeah, I understand where it came from, but still. Kinda seems like they slapped it on there. I think maybe Ike is Radiant Hero. So they just, alright. Radiant Confidant. There you go. Yeah, Radiant Vanguard. That's what he is. So Soren gets to be Radiant Confidant. Gullveig is here. See y'all in 10. Yeah, so they just made her look like Sather, which isn't unsurprising. I think she looks fine. I think her... How do I word this? I think her assets could have been even more pronounced here. Like in the original Gullveig art. But they're not. Which I find interesting. Cycle's turn. Enables Canto 1. Exoid special trigger. If unit initiates combat or bonus is active on unit, grants block plus 5 to unit, grants attack speed plus X to unit. X equals number of turns times 2, max 10. Okay. So it gets stronger as you go. Deals damage equals 20% of unit speed. And neutralize effects that guarantees full follow-up attacks and effects that prevent units follow-up attacks during combat. It seems like just about every like flyer mage they release now that they want to like be good and fast, they always have to give them NFU when they're perf. Because otherwise they don't have easy access to NFU. It's interesting. Oh, the banner trailer is up. Okay, that's more helpful. Oh yeah, I forgot he was voiced by Kyle McCarley. Yes, we knew all that already. That's true. I wonder, does he have any characters left that aren't in CYL? That's funny. Gatekeeper, and now Soren. He stays winning.
I am the Golden Seer. My purpose is to bring ruin.
It's like she's opening for a job interview. Okay, we were just talking about Gullveig. Wait, so what is she? Is she a flyer? Yeah, she's a blue tome flyer. Yeah, her perf weapon, I guess it has everything that she tentatively needs to be strong as a mage flyer. It's got NFU and it's got Canto. Flared Sparrow appears to be a new inheritable skill, which has a almost identical skill icon to Surge Sparrow. What does Flared Sparrow do? If a unit initiates combat, deals 7 damage to foe as combat begins. Effects that reduce damage during combat do not apply. Will not reduce foe's HP below 1. Grants attack speed plus 7 to unit during combat. And applies Divine Vein Flame on 5 spaces in a line centered on foe space, oriented left to right, based on the direction unit is facing. For 1 turn after combat. This wording is interesting to me because in Feh, your units are never facing a direction, right? Like that's not a thing. I guess it's just the direction you're attacking. More so a tactics game thing. Okay. What is Divine Vein Flame? Applies the following effects on... So Stone had a bunch of defensive effects. Flame acts as difficult terrain for foes with range equals 2. Moving over this space costs +1 movement. Movement cost cannot exceed units allowed movement. At the start of enemy phase, deals 7 damage to foe. Oh, okay, hold on. Okay, if a foe is on that tile at the start of enemy phase, deals 7 damage to foe. And also, as combat begins, deals an additional 7 damage to foe. Right. Okay, that's it. So this is like an offensive Dragon Vein effect. The fact that they're called Divine Veins and not Dragon Veins is throwing me off. Why launch Takumi? Oh, it's true. There you go. Takumi unaffected by Flared Sparrow. Takumi stonks are way up thanks to Gullveig's new A-slot skill. I know it's like 5 years too late, but I still think they should have given Takumi the ability to like go over mountains and water. Like all terrain. Go through walls and shit. Gold Unwinding. Inflicts speed, res -5 on foe. At start of combat, if unit HP greater than 50, and unit initiates combat, reduces damage from foe's first attack by 60%. If unit initiates combat, grants another action to unit after combat. Okay. It inflicts gravity on unit and pair up core. Oh, okay. So she gets to act again, but she's inflicting gravity on herself, kind of like Brave Marianne. I've heard people say Brave Marianne is still good, or that her extra action effect is good. I've always been kind of down on it, because I just feel like it's inconvenient to get gravitied afterwards. Maybe things will be a little different for Gullveig, because she's got a different movement type, but yeah. Well, I mean, she has Canto as well, right? So what, she's gonna... Well, I guess she gets her extra action first. How does Canto work with this, actually? So the Canto would only activate if you got the extra action, then attacked. Okay. This is still pretty good. I was just trying to get it straight. And she's got attack speed oath, so she can warp. She doesn't get 3 movement like base Gullveig, but she gets to warp instead. She seems strong. I think it's going to depend on how strong Divine Vein effects are in practice. Like, I can't really gauge how good they are right now. I guess it makes sense for her to have a Divine Vein effect like this because she's an offensive unit as opposed to defensive. Like, Corrin's is a defensive effect, but this is like, you're initiating, you're throwing fire on them, you're creating difficult terrain. Using this for, like, Aetherite's offense will be interesting because you can put, like, fire in front of their team and suddenly they can't get to you as easily. I like the idea of it a lot. Like, it's an actual mechanic from Fire Emblem that they're bringing into Feh. I guess specifically from Engage. It's neat. Robin. So Robin, my first reaction is that he's kind of boring. He's just an infantry sword? Is that all he is? He's just a dang-ass infantry sword? Not even Levin sword? His art is really cool. Might have to sack Gullveig to Vanilla Lasithia, because it seems like a strong A-slot skill. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, extremely good character art, of course. But the lack of Levin sword is curious. Maybe they wanted to go with this, like, character design, and they just thought that Levin sword didn't match with it. Like, if they're gonna do Levin sword, it ought to be, like, the original robe outfit, and they can't just do that again. What is the second belt doing for Robin, I wonder? He's a tactician. He wouldn't wear a second belt unnecessarily. Surely it has some function. I don't see a buckle on it, but I'm sure it does something for him. So it looks like he can warp next to Crom. He can only warp next to Crom. That would be such a cool effect. Grant speed +3. No slaying? What? That's illegal. What? When was the last time we got a perf weapon without slaying? What the fuck? This is actually wild. When was the last time we got a perf weapon that didn't have slaying? I genuinely don't remember. Grant speed +3. At start of combat, if unit's HP is greater than 25, grants attack speed, defense res +5. Reduces damage from foes first attack by 40%. Neutralizes effects that grant special equipment charge plus okay, anti-guard. I should say like tempo effect. And also, if unit's max special cooldown count value is greater than 3 or greater than 3, and unit's attack can trigger unit special, when unit special triggers. It's so confusing. When unit special triggers, neutralizes, reduces damage by X% effects from non-special skills. Okay, there you go. Cool. At start of combat, if unit's HP is greater than 25% and unit triggers the Glowing Ember, Bonfire, or Ignis special during combat, calculates that attack's damage using the lower of foe's defense or res. I don't think we've ever seen an effect like that before. It's a conditional based on what specific skill you have equipped. That's interesting. We never had that before. So he's got adaptive damage and neutralizing damage reduction on his Ignis procs. And I'm guessing his kit just helps him spam special somehow, even though he has no slaying. Let's look at Gambit 4 first. Inflict speed, defense, -4 on foe during combat. And also, if units or foes attack can trigger unit special, deals damage during combat equal unit's max special cooldown count value -2 times 5? So this won't even work if your max cooldown is 2 or less. If units or foes attack and triggers unit special. So this is like every hit. Every hit he gets deals damage during combat equal unit's max special cooldown count -2 times 5. So if you have like Ether activated or Ether equipped and you don't have slaying, then you get like +15 damage on every hit. And reduces damage from attacks during combat and from area effect specials by percentage equal to unit's max special cooldown count value times 10. Wow. That's pretty cool. It's an actual benefit to not having slaying. We've entered a new era of units that don't have slaying. We're finally here. This is cool though. This is potentially a good skill for older units that don't have slaying. Like Arena Core units that have had Ether equipped forever. It might be infantry only. We don't know though. It's a pretty good B-slot skill actually. You get true damage, you get speed defense debuff, and you get damage reduction up to 50%. I'm getting winded, boys. Boys and girls. We're almost at the end, though. Tip the scales. At start of turn, if unit is within 2 spaces of an ally, grants rally spectrum to unit, and allies within 2 spaces of unit. Unit can move to a space adjacent to any ally with rally spectrum that is within 5 spaces of unit. If unit is within 2 spaces of any ally, grants block +3 to unit. So it's basically a movement effect. But hold on. Rally spectrum grants +5 to all stats. Jeez. And if unit's attack can trigger unit special, grants special cooldown count -X to unit before unit's first attack during combat. Wait, X? Wait, where? Oh, X equals 1 if unit can trigger the unit attacks twice effect. Or if unit's maximum special cooldown. Okay. I gotta restart this. This entire CYL is just a lot of reading. I will say the perf weapons aren't that long. But it's just a lot of new skills I gotta read. I didn't think it was possible for them to power creep in unique ways, but what the fuck is this Dragon Vein BS? Yeah, dude. Well, I mean, it's sort of Young Ike's thing. At this point, it's like a couple people's thing. But it looks like Robin can subtract by more than 1. X equals 1 if unit can trigger the unit attacks twice effect, or if unit's maximum special cooldown count is reduced. Special trigger is accelerated. Otherwise, X equals 2. Okay. Oh, I guess you're right, yeah. So he can grant himself -2 cooldown at start of combat. I like how they're like, hey look, finally we introduced Gambit 4. It's a skill that incentivizes you to not have slaying. It incentivizes you to equip like high cooldown specials. Look at how neat. But this new unit we're introducing that has it, he can just bypass the high cooldown anyway with his C-slot skill. This is the Choose Legends banner, alright. I just imagine like granting this to like your whole team beneath the raids. +5 to all stats. Oh, he can grant this effect to everybody, that just clicked. This special acceleration effect, he can grant it to everybody, what the fuck? Even like armors and stuff. CYL6 introduced Brave Seliph, who is still really good. I remember last year, after looking at the CYL6 units, I was like, you know, I think Byleth is maybe the best one. And I think over time we all agree that Seliph was actually the best. Maybe Crom in second. This time around, I don't know who's the best, man. It's hard. It might be Robin. Rally Spectrum's kind of nuts. Yeah. That's all I have to say after all that. Man. I'm gonna have to decide how many Sorens I need for flare fodder. Yeah, they all do very different things. It's too much information to process at once. I didn't forget about Cyril, but I was consciously deciding not to analyze him. Because, I mean, what are we going to say about him? Whatever. Let's go look at Reddit real quick. I don't know what people will be salty about. We usually try to predict what the salt thread is going on about, but this time I have no predictions. I'm still, like, processing everything I just read. I was about to say, you will +10 Brave Soren. I probably won't be going that far. At this point in Feh, like, it's pretty tough for me to find a unit who's not a legendary that's worth +10ing. This is the power creep pushing CYL banner of all time. Genuinely, this is crazy. Yeah, I can't recall another time where, like, the CYL units hit this hard. I guess when CYL 1 came out, Brave Lyn was really good, but, I mean, come on. 4 was also pretty strong. Although, actually, I don't know, because Brave Dimitri fell off pretty quickly, Brave Claude fell off quickly. It was really just Edelgard, I think. What do we think we're salty about? I think Powercreep, but also Robin. Oh, yeah, it's true, Corrin's art. They could be mad about Corrin's art. I don't know if we're salty about Gullveig. I think there's too much other stuff to be immediately mad at. Does that make sense? I think we're also mad about Robin just being a boring infantry sword. I don't know if Reddit is the reason she won. It's hard to assign blame. Who knows? Do we have a foremost complaint among the masses? See, the reason why I like to predict it is because sometimes, you know, whether we realize it or not, like, our opinion of the units and the banners are, like, affected by, like, popular opinion. So I like to try and preempt it. So I have, like, you know, my own perspective of what we're mad about before I go and check the Reddit. That was the original idea for why I started doing this, by the way. Alright, let's look at it. Why did they need the Powercreep tiles? I like that. It is pretty wild that Corrin can just kind of make defense tiles now. Here's a question, can Lucia use these defense tiles? I think she can. Actually, I'm not sure about that. If they count as terrain effects, then Lucia would negate them, right? Can't help but laugh at how many people wanted Levin Sword Robin, and I just went, you want Robin with a sword? Here's some generic looking one. It's like a monkey's paw. Yeah, he's also, it's the trade-off, right? He doesn't get Levin Sword, but he's also extremely strong. Interesting variety of things that we're salty about. Arc Stage Soren feels disappointing. I don't know what else they would have done with him, honestly. Yeah, like, I think this... I don't know if this would have been that great, honestly. Make a non-Dragon Corrin challenge. Oh, I forgot about this one. That's true, because people were hoping for, like, an Omega Yato. Corrin. Rip Levin Sword. Yeah, Levin Sword's dead. We're never getting Levin Sword Robin, I don't think. I think it's Jover. Don't like his field effects. They introduced field effects in Feh! No! I can't escape them! They were in Reborn and now they're in Feh. Fuck! Alright, we can wrap up here. It's been an hour and a half of just reacting to this one trailer. This was a thing. It's gonna be interesting to see how these units affect the game. Yeah, anyway, that's it for the stream. Go home. I'll probably summon on the CYL banner, honestly. I'm gonna get baited by the skill fodder. Last year, we had a really nutty summoning stream on CYL6, so maybe we'll repeat that this year. I'll probably just Spark, though. I think that's the tentative plan here. I don't know when the summoning stream will be. I'd like to focus on Reborn in the coming weeks, but I can squeeze out a Feh summoning session.